So host of the Rock and Rich podcast.
What's up, guys?
Rich, let the people know, like, what you got going on, dude? Because you're a man of many talents,
dude. Tons of stuff, man. Just trying to keep up with everything. To be honest with you, we have a little side hustle you and I are working on.
Yeah, dude.
We ain't talking about that.
It's gonna be really great.
Really great. But we sort of have to. Well, the paperwork's not done yet, so we're kind of.
In the words of Pat McAfee, it's up to something season.
It's up to something.
Y'all are up to something.
It's up to something season. It's gonna be really great. No, man. I'm just running a media company, man. Just trying to keep it all going before the end of the year. You know, it's kind of weird this time of year, though, when you think about it.
Yeah, it is. Like businesses, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
customers for me, you know,
no one's working.
No one.
Alex, well, it's like you may be working, but you're sort of like you kicked it in neutral.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're kind of like everyone sort of checked out.
In the oil and gas industry, this is when everyone uses their PTO, and so there's really nothing to do at work, and you have to find stuff to do.
No, it's true. Usually, I start kicking my stuff back in October. I haven't really been able to this
year.
Yeah, we get a lot of let's revisit that at the beginning of the year. Yeah. There's a lot of that going around.
Yeah.
And what's really convenient is this was a election year, so it's almost like people haven't done anything for half the year.
I'm just gonna wait.
We're gonna see like what happens with the elections before we make any decisions on. And we're like, okay. And then
we're gonna let this season pass.
Yeah. It's like, guys, what are you even doing for?
What are you waiting on?
What are you waiting on here? Yeah, well, you know, I'm at the lease. It's like, when do you get back?
Yeah,
like,
you've been at the lease.
How many deer are you shooting?
All of them.
All the deer.
We're trying to clear them out so we can get restocked.
Yeah. And the turkeys. We got turkeys.
Dude, oh my god.
Anyway.
My buddy of mine shot everything, and now he's clearing out the ocean. Just got back from a tuna trip. Cleared out lots of tuna.
Eh?
Yeah.
I'm a guy. We could do a fishing trip down in Costa Rica if we wanted to.
Dude, I've heard that fishing in Costa Rica is
maddening. It's mad.
I hear ziplining in Costa Rica is very dangerous.
I've done that.
Here, you can break your neck and then have to go back to your old job.
Wow.
Just like Toby in The Office.
Dang, dude.
That was his dream, was to go to Costa Rica, and then he did and broke his neck.
What?
True story.
In The Office?
Big fan.
Yeah.
We're big fans.
I love The Office.
So good.
I used to be able to quote like every other show.
Yeah, dude.
I still can.
One of the greatest to me exchanges in that show is the Bill Buttlicker scene.
It is pretty good.
Scene.
His family built this country.
Yeah. So the scene is that Dwight and Jim are getting trained on how to talk to customers because there were some complaints. And so Michael decides he's going to do a mock, sales call.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there has Dwight go first, and he calls Jim, and he goes, hello. Yes, Dwight Schrute he goes, yeah. He goes, who I have the pleasure of speaking with? He goes, yeah, this is Bill.
Yeah.
Bill Buttlicker.
Yeah, Bill Buttlicker.
Yeah.
They're all sitting at the conference table.
And he goes, are you kidding me? That's your real name? He goes, how dare you? My family built this country. And then he's talking to Michael, and he goes, I am irate right now. He goes through the list of like all the things that were said about them.
There was 3 things to describe this salesman.
It would be
it was aggressive, condescending, and something else.
Definitely difficult.
Yeah.
And so he goes, let me get my manager. It's Michael Scott. He goes, Michael, I like the sound of your voice. You know what? Just for today, because I like you, I'm gonna buy $1 million worth of paper. And he covers the phone, and he looks at Dwight. He's like, and he goes, under one condition, you have to fire the salesman
who treated me so poorly.
And he goes,
Michael, don't do it. He goes,
and he covers the phone.
It's $1 million order.
Dude, it's one of the greatest.
They're like sitting right there.
Yeah.
No, I say the best one is when Phyllis they were talking about one night stands.
Oh God, yes.
And she raises her hand. Everyone's like,
and Michael's like, no, Phyllis, like that's she's like, Michael, yeah. He's like, Phyllis, we don't want to hear about that. It's disgusting.
I always like when he talks about how old she is, and she's
the same age.
He's like, we graduated the same class.
Yeah, and like as like the show progresses, you realize that like him and Phyllis were like friends in high school.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Oh.
I missed that show.
So good.
We need to ask him our question from last week.
Oh gosh.
The would you rather?
I got a different one.
Oh, you got a different one?
I got a different one, locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Wait.
So,
What?
would you rather object at every wedding you went to, or take a selfie at every funeral you went to with the dead person?
Object.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to stay away from as many
Funerals.
weddings as possible.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, no, I'd still object.
I don't know though. What if it's like your sister or your brother?
You know, I think I would go with the funeral because I think you in this day and age
You could ruin so
get-
many relationships by objecting,
Yeah,
and you wouldn't just have one person hate you; you would have families hate
a
you.
room full of people.
Yeah, but the
You'd have the whole
disrespect
Callahans.
that you would get. I mean, or just the backlash from a funeral.
But don't you think in this day
I
and
think
age
you could
can
sneak
get
one
away?
though.
Because you could be like, I just wanted to get one more picture with him or with her.
I love them so much.
Yeah, and it's like a very like
How did you know him? I met him on the street one time 5 years ago.
yeah. It'd
Would you be
like
smiling?
stonewalled?
I think I would get to a point where I'd just bring like a selfie. Like I would get so comfortable, I'd just bring a selfie stick, make a thing out of it.
Yeah,
Man, you know what? Like, okay, so both of them, one you could kind of explain away later. You know what I mean? Like, you can explain the objection, say, yeah, this guy's a joke thing, but that stays forever. The photo stays and hangs around for a long time. And then it's like, hey, remember that when you were so disrespectful at my uncle's wedding? You just took a selfie, be smiling.
I would just,
I'd be like, man,
I'd be let them know, do something. You got a problem with it?
You know what? You know what I would do? Honestly, I would do that if the person like you know them in real life and they wouldn't care. Like that'd be kind of cool. I'm like, dude, he's gonna hate me for this, but it's kind of like a funny thing.
We had an agreement before he passed away.
yeah.
He said it was all right.
Okay.
Well, see, 'cause here's
I'm
the
also
thing.
very good at manipulating people. So I would
It's true.
also, if I was objecting at a wedding and someone came up to me and said something like the bride came up and was like, "Why would you do that?" And I'd just be like, "I don't think he's good enough for you." Or if the groom came up to me, "I don't think she's good enough for you," and then I would play both sides. I mean,
y'all are right for each other.
yeah,
Really
I would be like,
right, yeah.
"You deserve better."
See, I feel like I could
Yeah,
do
you
that.
both-
I could hype them up. I could hype them up to where they're like, "You know what?
Yeah.
Thank you for being honest."
Look, but the dead person too, you could say that you had an agreement. He can't object. He's dead.
Well,
You could go in there and be like, "We had an agreement that whoever passed away first
Yeah.
We had to do
had
a
to take a
selfie.
selfie with the other person."
And then they're gonna be like,
you have this agreement with a lot of people.
yeah,
What are you doing at all these weddings? I mean, funerals that I go to.
Yeah, yeah.
Why have you been to multiple of the same ones?
Yeah.
But see, I feel like you could also be like, if they said something negative about it, you could be like, listen, I don't judge your way of mourning. Don't judge
no,
mine.
don't judge mine.
How
We had
dare
an
you?
agreement.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Mine,
Yeah.
never mind. I can't say that.
And then drink a beer just right after you're done with the selfie. Dude, nobody can say anything about it. They don't know.
What was that show on Corncob TV from I Think You Should Leave, where the caskets the bottom of the caskets fell out?
Yes. Oh, I can't remember, but yeah, I
I don't know why.
can't remember
saw
the
that.
premise, but I do remember.
No, there was
like,
no premise. It was just the bottom of caskets falling out and
Oh my
the dead
gosh.
bodies coming out.
Dude, well, Jackass did that. They in the what do you call the car?
Oh yeah, the hearse.
hearse.
The hearse with the back of it would open and then the casket would come flying out the back.
Yeah, they. Yeah.
We all tried to copy it though.
Oh, everybody
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
You remember the Chinese food restaurant I was going on and on about?
Mm-hmm.
I ate there today in person. It was fantastic.
Is it close to here?
It's about 10 minutes from here.
Which direction?
That way.
South.
Not back. Oh,
Yeah, not
towards.
this way towards the highway.
It's like an exit down.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty freaking good.
I was
Is it
hoping.
like real or is that American Chinese?
It's American Chinese.
you know the difference really what it is, right? American Chinese and regular Chinese. The American Chinese is a little sweeter.
Yeah,
It's got like sugar in it.
yeah. See,
It's not bad.
I'm a glutton for some some crab puffs, with a little sweet and sour sauce, and then I'm also very much a fan of the pork fried rice with a little sweet and sour sauce.
I've noticed a lot of places call them crab puffs, and there's no,
Real
there's
crab.
not even fake crab in them. It's
Some
just
of them, yeah,
it's just cheese puffs.
That's what I'm saying. Like real Chinese, though. Like there really is.
yeah, and like this one, there's actually crab in the wontons, and they're
Mm.
also done the way that I prefer them, which is like the fold method, not the crunch method. If you the real ones, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly.
They got more chewed than crunch.
Yes.
Oh my
No, I'm gonna go. I agree 100%.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the ones that look like those Nerf footballs.
No, and
They
they
got a
also
tail on
like
'em.
typically those like will have they'll sometimes do like the chive recipe where they'll put like some chive
Chives on it.
and it's very oniony base and it's like, dude, this
Yeah.
is not what I'm wanting.
No,
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
dude,
Yeah.
something about it.
Yeah.
Connoisseur for very good Chinese food. Hey, let us know if you're a local Chinese food takeout restaurant here in the local Houston area. Me and Alex will come review it for you, and we'll bring Rich.
Or if you're in Dallas, let me know.
So you want to get into this bad boy?
Let's do it.
Oh gosh, here we go. We're getting in this.
Here's the thing, guys. Something big happened over the weekend. There was a real tucked up trade,
Well, maybe.
maybe, but it did involve Kyle Tucker. So there was a Tucker involved. You like what I did there?
How tucked up is that?
How tucked up is that?
That was good.
Just one Tucker.
So over the weekend, Kyle Tucker was traded to the Chicago Cubs for third baseman
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Paredes,
Mm-hmm.
right-hand pitcher prospect Hayden Wesneski,
Mm-hmm.
and third baseman prospect Cam Smith.
Who is still really young.
Very young.
21 years
is
old.
let me ask you a question. Is it true the Yankees were pretty upset because they did have a better deal on the table?
I didn't hear anything
I
about
didn't
that.
hear anything about there being a. Oh, you know what? I did.
Yeah.
It involved Gil.
Gil.
Yeah.
They well, and I think the reason, so look, this is just hearsay, guys. I think the reason is the Astros just didn't want to trade to the Yankees.
I think it's just pure hatred.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that. 100%.
No, I mean
We needed a-
play your cards.
Yeah, I mean, I think we would have been okay trading to them if they would have put out a press release, a public statement apologizing for calling us cheaters all the time. I mean, it may have happened, but
No, dude. Cashman doubled down when they went to the World Series. Literally, the Astros
you.
aren't even in the deep playoff hunt. They're in the World Series, and they still can't get the Astros name out of their mouth.
living
Yeah.
rent-free
Unbelievable.
rent-free
It's
in New York.
ridiculous. Yeah. But I'll say this. There are two things
Expensive.
that I hate more than anything in life. One of them is the New England Patriots as a Jets fan. So I wanted nothing to do with that Bill Belichick hire. And then number two is the New York Yankees.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no wonder your team's going to be terrible forever. I would hate to have the worst, the best head coach in NFL history.
Don't care. Again, it is pure.
Yeah, I know you don't
hatred.
care.
He's going to North Carolina now, so
Yes, that's gonna be
Solid setup.
We talked about that last week. Man, we're really excited for that.
hey, he knows how to recruit some college kids
Yeah, he's been working. He's been working already.
diligently.
I mean, it really sells itself. I mean, it's going to be a funnel into the NFL. That's what that school.
That's all it is. That's all it is. We'll see. Now, going back to Kyle Tucker, look, let's start from the let's start from the bottom with the prospect. What did you guys get? It's okay, so you guys gave up Kyle Tucker. Just so you know, I'm going to say we a lot, and I don't mean that. Okay? I'm a Rangers fan.
Boo.
We're going to talk about that in just a little while. But anyway, so look, you guys got that. I think he's a stud, Cam Smith.
73rd overall prospect.
Yep, 73rd overall prospect. He's got a bullet of an arm, plays third base really well. I think in 2 years, that trade is going to pay off for you guys with him.
And if I remember correctly, he had a stretch of games where he went like 7 at bats in a row with a home run.
Yes.
Something like that. Like unbelievable.
Yeah, he's good. He's got a future.
There's a
in
reason he
Major League
skyrocketed up
Baseball.
the minors so quickly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a slug sitting down there. And so, I just want to recognize that as an outsider, that I don't think it was that bad for you guys.
And I think the Paredes, I mean, depending on what we do with Bregman, You slide him over to first,
That's
not
fine.
Bregman, but Paredes, and you'd have a solid defensive first baseman. I mean, if he's playing third, he can easily play first base.
I think they would get rid of him before they move him, to be honest with you.
I mean, it could happen, but I mean, they've been trying to find that piece at first base.
Yes.
So I think that would be a logical move. I mean, you already have him, and he's already locked into a contract. So, I mean, you might as well slide him over.
mean,
How
And
long's his deal?
I think we got what, 2028?
Yeah, he's got, and he's 20. He's only 25. Like, kid's young. And his spray chart, like, if I remember correctly,
Everything's pulled.
Yeah,
And so he's going straight into the Crawford boxes every time.
Yeah, I was talking to Dowdy, shout out Pen Pals, and he was like, if you look at his spray chart, he would have 28 more home runs.
Are you serious?
28 more this year, which is pretty crazy.
I like it. I mean, he's a younger guy. I mean, worst case scenario, it doesn't work out, you can trade him. I mean, we've had nightmares at first base. And then, so, I mean, once again, that really just depends on what we do with Bregman.
Yeah.
If we decide to sign him.
Right.
I don't think they'll pay him.
I think if I remember correctly, they said that he's wanting somewhere in the ballpark of 6 years, 200.
Yeah.
Our offer on the table is 6 years, 156.
That's a big gap.
I mean, the thing is it's like, why don't you just meet him in the middle? Be like, hey, look, we want to keep you here. Can you meet us in the middle, 180 something? But the problem is that Crane has never gone over 150 or 6 years on any deal. And it seems like the Astros are comfortable there. And I, for one, hate that, because in this league, we are getting to a point to where if you're not willing to spend the big money and do the deferred contracts, you're only going to be able to last for so long. And
I don't even think it has to do with deferred contracts. Just pay somebody what they're worth. I mean, somebody like Bregman, Tucker, I didn't want to keep Tucker. I didn't really want to. I liked Tucker. You know, I thought he was a great Astro. He was a ghost in the postseason most of the time. He was injured most of this year.
And that's who we are as a team. The Astros are a team that plays for the playoffs. That's what they do. It's not playing for a record. They play to get to the playoffs, and that's when they flip a switch and they turn it on. And they didn't this year. It's the first year that we have literally seen them crumble. And I think a lot of that has to do when you have your hitters that aren't hitting. Like when they're coming in, you have Kyle Tucker, guys like that, Bregman, and they're not hitting the way they should be. You are going to feel it at some point.
Well, I think you guys there was inconsistency through the season, right? And, and it definitely carried over. And I don't think you guys had that momentum anyway.
Was never there.
You know, it's like when we won, we were inconsistent through the season, but at the end of the season, you saw consistency.
Got hot at the right time.
Right. You saw consistency. And, if our pitching, had a sucky outing, then, our batting stepped up. Everybody knows where our weakness was. We had no middle relief. We had nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you can just stretch a guy through, 6-7 innings and sort of, get by and hopefully only 1 or 2 runs.
Because that's the thing, too. The year that y'all won, like, it was pretty understood that a team from Texas was going to win the World Series.
That's right.
It was a matter of,
look, we weren't the best team, though.
Yeah.
I'll admit it. And I think everybody knows that, right? We were not the best team. We were just the best team at that time.
And that's all it takes.
I mean, we've seen it time and time again. The playoffs is all about who gets hot at the right time. That's it. It's syncing up the right time and following in that momentum. And the teams that do that, they seem to continue to exceed expectations. And, eventually we'll win the World Series. I mean, like Arizona. Arizona was the NL team that year of destiny, and you guys were the AL team of destiny. It's just how it was.
Right.
And obviously, two what do they call it? Two irremovable objects moving at the same.
Irremovable.
Help me out.
Immovable.
Objects. Yeah. I know what I meant. Anyway. Yeah. Big words.
It's an unstoppable force and an immovable object.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know words much. Do I?
Big words.
Yeah.
No, you guys have always been good through the years of plugging your holes really well, putting in those pieces. And but I will say you're in this in between sort of growth, sort of you got to build back up your farm system. I don't think it's the time to sign a veteran for some max deal. I just don't think so. To me, I think they did the right thing away by trading away Kyle, get 3 good young prospects. Look, maybe not next year. Maybe you start seeing where a couple more holes need to be filled, but the next year you go in and you start signing some folks. But I honestly, I think then, you'll see what you got.
Yeah.
And I think also, like, you got to remember too, I mean, and I will say this to my grave, I'll die on this hill. This is not the Jeff Luno era anymore. And
No.
it sucks because this will be one of the, few final pieces left of the Luno era in Tucker, because I mean, that was your crown jewel.
Yeah.
At one point, that was the monster in the waiting in the minors whenever he got signed.
Yeah.
I will never forget that. Preston Tucker was still on the team when they drafted his brother, talking about, well, Preston, like, you should see his brother. His brother's the real prize. And they got him out of high school and they convinced him to come out of high school and start. And that was a Luno thing. Like, I think people are continuing to misunderstand that it has nothing to necessarily, it's not as much to do with the Astros suck or have no farm system because of trades. It's they have no farm systems because there's no one drafting the way that Luno was drafting.
Yeah.
Luno was finding these guys like a Yordan Alvarez and trading him for a bag of rocks. Like, he was looked at as a failed prospect. Like, he comes over here and then, like, they do their thing and boom, Charlie Morton, Wade Miley. I mean, Garrett Cole. Like, how many guys have we taken on and turned into these superstars? And a lot of it has to do with the eye of Jeff Luno. And unfortunately, with all the scandal and stuff, he's not here. But, you're going to, at some point, like, we were spoiled, I guess is what I'm getting at. We were so spoiled.
Well, I think we're also spoiled with other sports around the city. I mean, we had the Rockets for many years that seemed they were always getting the better of trades whenever Morey was here.
Yeah.
And then we kind of fell into Rafael Stone and people were like, we loved Morey. I don't know how Rafael Stone's going to do. And all he's done is, I mean, it seems like he's hitting on every draft pick.
Just build.
So, I mean, it helps whenever you have 15 first-round picks, but
100%.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt you.
But we've seen plenty of those prospects come through and just die off, like, around the league, not with the Rockets. The Rockets have been picking properly, and they've been hitting on those picks. And I feel like Luno did a lot of that, and we haven't seen a lot of that from Dana.
We were talking earlier on the phone, about how he was able to put together, again, the pieces to the puzzle, right? He wasn't looking for this. He just needed this. He stick Garrett Cole, in this spot and make sure that he's got this and this on each side, right? I mean, he was just good at that. I mean, honestly, and that's hard to do in baseball. We see Nico Harrison over there at the Mavs, as a GM, how he plucks those. He seems to hit on everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk that when you guys drafted Luka, that was like, oh my God, how could you pass on Trae Young?
Yeah,
it's unbelievable, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, Luka Doncic is the best player in basketball.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing, at least what I go, but what I go to is, again, culture. It's like for the Mavs, they always, they pick for culture first and chemistry. And the Astros and you guys were able to do that for so long while you were building up a farm system.
Yeah.
It's like, look at the length of time that you guys had just run it. I mean, in the playoffs, once the playoffs happen, obviously everybody knows it could go any way, right? But you were always there in the midst of it, right?
I mean, you got to think too, that core for a long time, like it consisted of starting with Altuve, and then Keuchel, and then Springer, and then McCullers,
right?
And then
Correa,
Bregman, Tucker, Yordan. I mean, we're talking about all these guys that came through the farm system.
Yes.
Like Marwin. I mean,
but you guys weren't afraid to pay middle relief either.
No.
You guys got through some innings. You guys ate up innings.
Yeah.
Better than anybody in the league.
And again, going back to Luno, being willing to take risk. I mean, you remember the whole trade for Ozuna?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big deal. And well, how's that going to happen? Like all the things going on. And He bet on that it was going to work out, and for what we needed at the time, for the stint we needed, I
Right.
mean, it worked out.
He's
For
a scumbag though.
still a scumbag, yeah.
Still very much a scumbag.
But
No, that you
hey,
got
it helped us win a championship.
you guys were good. No, I'll admit that for the longest time, you guys, the 9 guys that were playing on the field at any given evening, was top 5 in the league for the longest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like the Rangers, we got sort of lucky, for 1 year, right? It's like, but you can't like look at a year before
Especially
that.
consider that your best player was never on the field.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have any pitching through that time, right?
Right.
I mean, so, but
DeGrom,
you guys,
came back last year?
DeGrom?
Yeah. When did last year he finally pitched?
He's still alive.
He's very much,
Dude's
very
still
much-
alive.
very much living, very much among the living. Yeah, I mean, was it the end of the year or I can't remember
Something, but it was like it
yeah,
was, what,
Yeah.
a year after.
yeah. I mean, and look, that's tough. I mean,
Yeah.
but you guys, you always had the next person. You always had that ninth,
Next man up.
right?
I mean, even the
which is-
pitching, which is crazy, right?
Yeah,
Like you had Valdez, and then you had why am I blanking here? Obviously Real Blanco this year, but before that, I'm trying to think. Christian Javier and Cap. Who's the kid that pitched in the World Series in 22?
the littler guy, wasn't he a small guy?
He was the kid. I always forget this guy, his name.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Javier.
No, it's Garcia. Luis Garcia. Yeah.
Luis Garcia.
Luis Garcia, like these guys that just come out of nowhere. Yeah. And it's just like,
But again, they were never asked to do this. They're just asked
Right.
just to do this.
yeah.
Yeah. But there's something to be said about that. Stay in your lane.
And I think it's true too, like the culture, right? Because when you come to the Astros, I think that is an expectation.
Sure.
Are you going to be able to step into a big moment? Because it's going to happen. Like
Right.
we will be in the playoffs. We will be in a situation where at some point you're going to be relied on to make some type of play or not
Yes.
screwing it up.
I also do think that we may have the blanket pulled over our eyes a little bit due to the fact that from 2006 to 2013, we were one of the worst teams in the league and just stacked up draft picks.
Sucked and sucked and sucked.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you've got a wealth to choose from going up there. And even not all those hit. I mean, you got Mark Appel,
J.R. Tolles.
who, I mean, I would have much rather had Chris Bryant.
True.
Even still now.
No.
At least he played. At least he played and was good for a
That's
little
true.
bit.
And he won
Mark
an MVP.
Appel never went to the or he's been
What
in
did he bat? Like 119?
Bro.
yeah, but he was also batting like 350 one year
Yeah, and he won
Yeah.
the MVP for the
I know.
NL.
when we
That's
needed a first baseman.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
bad.
He lives down the street.
Shout out Chris Carter though.
the most dangerous 200 hitter in the league.
All time.
He was either
200.
striking out or hitting a home run.
He had 50 home runs one year and
Isn't that
batted
just-
like 219.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's insane.
Yeah, he led the league in strikeouts, I think, and also led it in home runs or something.
He was like that guy from Signs that held the record for most strikeouts, but also held the record for the longest home run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He wouldn't even be on a Tony Gwynn team. Like he would not even like.
so I mean, you bring this up like about we talk a little Dallas or Houston.
Oh.
This is always a great debate.
Mm.
What
really
would you say? Because I mean, you come down to Houston fairly regularly.
Mhm.
What is one thing that Houston does better to be anything than Dallas?
To be honest with you, so I think it's because of proximity to the ocean. You guys have really good seafood here. So Cajun and seafood. I think you guys have locked that up. Yeah, I could pick any. I was at a seafood place right before I got here.
Nice. Where'd you go?
Can I say that on the air?
Yeah.
Papa's.
Oh, Papa's is a good one.
This is good.
Look, and
Always solid.
Look, you can't beat it, to
No.
be honest with you, right? But you guys, because of proximity, you guys do that really, really well. I mean, honestly, and you can get into Dallas. It's just going to cost you a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place down in Galveston, like right on the water, called Linda's.
I've been to Linda's. That's
That-
solid.
That's one of my favorite places to get.
Oysters.
This new place that just,
Yes, dude.
Yeah, I've had
They're
the oysters. They're
huge.
massive.
And
No, they're flavorful.
they always, whenever you go at lunch, they always have a whatever the special is, and it's always what they call it that morning.
Yeah.
Like it's all, dude, I love it.
there's
That's
that
great
new
stuff.
place right down the road that just opened up in front of Chicken and Pickle
Oh yeah,
that I heard is pretty good.
Very
Towards the
good.
mall.
Yes, kind of.
Mambas.
Oh, I passed.
No, it's not Mambas. It's like what's it, like Viva Mariscos or something? I don't know. Once you go to 45 and you take a left to go up north, it's going to be on your right hand side. You're going to pass it.
Okay.
So, and it's a brand new white building.
I just know that you guys do. What about? Okay, I can ask the same question though, right? What is Dallas?
Yeah, you're right.
do?
Viva Mariscos.
Yeah,
What does Dallas do
Also.
better than Houston?
I'll let Tyler answer.
Be honest. What do you say?
Hutchinson.
Oh, Hutchinson.
I mean, besides barbecue, we already know barbecue. So can we take barbecue off the table?
Nope.
no, because Houston does barbecue better.
No. Better?
Oh yeah.
Terry Blacks?
What?
We got Truths.
We got Truths.
If,
We got-
listen, there's an exit down. There's a place called Cats. It's right
Bro.
by my work. It's some of the best barbecue
Have
in
y'all
Houston.
been to Terry Blacks?
I have.
I've been Terry Black's. I
It's good barbecue.
It's good barbecue, but Terry Black's doesn't.
Pecan Lodge?
I've like I said, this little place is just like
Dude.
pretty much like a hole in the wall barbecue place. Fantastic.
So here's what I'll say. Even if it's neck and neck, I still say we have more barbecue there. We have more good barbecue there than you guys. More.
I would say you have.
J Bar. That's another one.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I
not
would
saying
just
you
say,
guys don't have any.
say,
I'm saying I'm a Texas fan. I'm a Texas
agriculturally
Yeah.
wise, y'all would have access to more beef than we would, and things like that kind of thing.
I think
Just because of like
Knowing-
Fort Worth area.
I'm very familiar with both cities, and the quantity of good barbecue in Dallas, I think, is hands down better than Houston.
I'm trying to really think, really think about, okay, how many like spots are like it here in Houston, and like the ones that there are, like they're like top notch.
No, they're good.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a few
But it's
down
like,
here. You got Cats. You've got Delta Blues is
Delta Blue's
fantastic.
great. Papa's Papa's barbecue is very
Papa's
good,
is
actually.
good.
I mean,
Um,
it's good, but
I mean, I wouldn't put Papa's up there.
Oh,
No.
but,
I
like,
would. It's a solid like
Um,
quick turn.
and then you've got J Bar. You've got
Smoke Ring,
Truth, Smoke Ring, Pit Room.
Pit Room.
look, if you guys have 10,
yeah,
8, 10,
we'll call it 10. That's probably fair.
Dallas is 15 to 20.
Killings.
Killings, yeah.
Dallas is 15 to
That's
20.
fair. I guess it is larger.
Yeah, we just have more
Like
options.
as far as
Look, North-
because you can group in that whole Fort Worth,
Y-
Arlington,
My buddy-
Dallas.
Look, my buddy Kenneth is North Texas Barbecue.
Mhm.
Like 250,000 followers on Facebook. You know, I mean, we have these such massive, large.
Terry Black's
barbecue.
being there does kind of put a wrinkle in
I
there.
don't know. You still got. I'm still thinking about place down here. You got Pinkertons.
No, dude, I know there's good spots.
Screw. What is it in spring?
I think there's been a lot recently that have opened that are good. So I don't know.
There's been some like a lot of like trucks
Mhm.
that have turned into
Barbecue.
spots recently
Mm.
that it's hard to really put that in perspective, I think, too, to kind of know which ones to do. But I think that's one that maybe we could probably like. There's quite a few. Because I do think
But it's not like, okay, but it's not like that one thing that's better. See, I can say,
it's
you know what I mean? It's like you could argue.
yeah,
one
you
way
could
or the
definitely
other.
argue for that. I'll say this: I think cleanliness of city.
Dallas.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
to me,
absolutely.
Frisco, dude, Frisco is one of the cleanest
Yeah.
cities. Like
Mhm.
that, I'll say this: Don't come after me, guys.
Go
okay?
after him.
But oh, by the way, I forgot to say the thing. This is Athletic Decline Sports on ESPN 97.5. I can
Way to get that out
I
there.
like that.
Yeah, I completely forgot to do that.
Do that again.
This is Athletically Declined on ESPN 97.5. Get you going?
He's a face for radio.
Sunday.
Yeah. I feel like Frisco is not saying it's better or worse or
I
anything.
could live in Frisco.
Frisco is like Houston's Woodlands.
Woodlands. I was
Yes.
going to say Woodlands. The problem you guys have
Dallas
is
Dallas is definitely cleaner.
there's no zoning here.
Yeah, you can guys put stuff.
You guys do.
Yeah.
We zone it off. We're like,
Yeah.
you are clearly not in this area
Yeah.
anymore.
Do not put a house between these two
No.
buildings, please.
Let's not be Houston.
That's what I love
Yeah.
about Houston.
But I do love the Woodlands, though. I will say the last time I was over there, I saw a Dave Matthews Band at the pavilion.
did
let me
he
tell
did he
you
do that
something.
thing where he looked like he was having a seizure while he was dancing?
When does he not?
He's a
do
weird
that?
dancer.
He's good though.
Dude, I love Dave Matthews. I like Dave Matthews acting. Him and Just Go With It was fantastic.
He's a great actor.
It's so funny, dude.
He should have been in more stuff.
Anytime I think of Dave Matthews Band, I think of Parks and Rec and how Andy just wanted his band to be the next Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah,
How he modeled all his songs after Dave Matthews.
it's a good show.
It's a great show. But yeah, I mean, who would you say has better Mexican food?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Hey, man. Honestly,
I can't say I've ever. I'd try to avoid Dallas. I don't like the city of Dallas. I like the surrounding areas. But with a passion, I hate the city of Dallas. Not
what?
yeah. At the actual city, I like Frisco. I like Fort Worth. That area, those areas, but the actual city of Dallas, I cannot stand. I've been there a few times with friends, for some work, different things, and it's just got a pretentious feel to it.
I think it's like a mini LA.
Yeah, it's I think it's also because it's not my vibe. I like hole in the wall places, things like that where you're more chill. One time I was out there visiting some friends, and we went on some street, and I tried to go to Cement Cowboy or Kung Fu Cowboy or
Kung Fu Cowboy.
yeah, and they wouldn't let me in because I was wearing shorts, and I was like, "This is the dumbest thing." It's the middle of the summer.
Mhm.
Why would I not be allowed to wear shorts?
We have a lot of those. My wife and I, we were, I think we were driving somewhere. We were sitting in the car waiting to go in somewhere. We see this couple walking up, and she's like dressed to the nines, and he has like, a hoodie on and kind of sweatpants and all this stuff. And it's almost like the guys sort of dress down and the women dress up, but like the guy's outfit is like kind of just as expensive as the, you know what I mean? It's kind of like this weird, like I don't know.
And this jumpsuit is Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, but no, like literally, it's
Yeah.
just like, you're just kind of, but that's Dallas though. And it's like, you just kind of,
We're
accept
homeless
it.
rich.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
I look like I'm homeless, but I have
am-
more money in my wallet than you do in your savings.
Yes. No, and I wish, look, that is true. I mean, there is a lot of that. It's not, but the thing is, with Dallas, all that's true, but it's like a community. It is like a small town in a big city. And once you know a couple people, like you kind of know everybody. And I don't know another city that's like that. And I've been around the block.
I don't like people, so I don't want to know everybody.
Yeah,
That's why we live on the outskirts of.
Yeah,
He's anti-people.
I am very anti-people. If you see me out in public, no, you didn't.
They-
Don't talk to me.
No, you didn't.
Psych. That's the wrong alley.
I will act like I'm deaf. You'll be caught talking to me. I'll be like, and then whenever they start to walk away, I'll be like, all right, see you later.
Yeah. What?
Did you give that homeless guy any money?
What? Didn't we do something where you were like trying to act like you had headphones on recently, and somebody was trying to like come up to talk to all of us, and then like made the rounds to you, and you were like very much.
Oh, it was at Chicken and Pickle for the fight, and there was a
Wait, what?
So we were doing a live stream from Chicken and Pickle for a UFC
He was
fight.
producing it.
I was producing it, and I was sitting at a table by myself, and this little kid came around, and he was one of those kids that has like a box of candy, and he's trying to sell the candy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't have any cash, and I don't really want to buy anything, so I'm just gonna put these headphones on and act like I'm listening to the levels here. Yeah, they weren't connected to anything, and so I just put them on, and then he came by, and I was like, and then he was like, okay, and started going. And I just took my headphones off.
Down at the mic.
I put it down like with my headphones. And he was like, oh, okay.
Dude, that is awesome.
That's pretty funny. And then he's like looked at me, he's like, totally just gave that kid a slip.
How old was the kid?
Probably 10.
You were an asshole.
Yep, I absolutely am, and I own it. Don't try to fleece me for your candy.
But he was White Boy of the Year.
I did get the award this year.
Congratulations.
Wearing that hat.
According to a lady at work, yes.
I turned this hat around, so I told Tyler on the way here, I have a hat that's in my truck in my bags, and I said, hey, do you have a hat, hoodie or something? Yeah, I got you. And he throws me this H-Town hat. I'm like, that bastard. I know. Is he laughing?
Yeah. Yeah, Cap thought that was funny.
That's ridiculous. So now I'm having to wear a hat backwards.
Hey, you look fresh though.
Look at this guy trying to be young.
Trying. No, but seriously, it's like, okay, you know what? If there was a screenshot and I'm wearing an H-Town hat, that would not be good for my career.
I think Rocky would have probably roasted you if he got a hold of that.
Well, totally, because we on the show all the time, we're always like, don't go out something, whatever, Houston. It's always like some bad stuff and then Houston.
Yeah.
It is interesting how everyone that lives in Texas hates at least one of the major 4 cities. You either hate Austin, Houston, San Antonio, or Dallas.
Okay, but I think everyone will agree collectively. We all kind of like San Antonio.
I love San Antonio.
I was say that.
Right?
I love San Antonio.
Let's go back to Mexican. I'm going San Antonio.
Yeah.
Okay, am I wrong?
Oh, absolutely. No, I agree.
But here's the funny thing about that. If we were, let's just say that Texas succeeds from the union, which I'm game if you're game.
Don't call it a party unless it is one.
Right? Okay. And you had to leave one city behind. I promise you, we all know what city that is.
Yeah.
Let's all say it together. 1, 2, 3. Austin.
Dallas.
Name is not.
That
isn't true.
So
that isn't true.
Personally, I knew what we were supposed to say. Personally, it would be Dallas for me. Obviously, the people in Austin are the worst, but I do love the surrounding area of Austin and
that's fine.
The parks and everything of Austin.
Look, that's fine.
But yes, if we're going off people, then I would, probably Austin.
I'm just saying, look, I will bitch and complain, but Houston, get in the truck. You're coming with us. We need you, Houston.
Yeah.
But I will have to use my passport to go into Austin, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
And see, my thing is like one thing I hate about Austin, even though I agree with Alex, I do like those things, but I don't like anything else. Like, I think Austin, driving in Austin is freaking miserable.
Horrible.
I also think that, like, the way their barbecue is probably superior than both of our cities.
100%.
But what in the hell is wrong with you that every one of those places I have to stand outside at 4 a.m. to even be able to try it?
And then you get up there, and guess what happened to your dino ribs? Yeah,
they're all sold out. But it's not even
speaking of cats that's got dino ribs this week.
Shut your mouth.
They do.
Do they really?
I'll be there
this week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm here till Wednesday.
They're
Thursday.
fantastic.
It's a good place. But yeah, the traffic in Austin's god awful. And it used to be known for like its art and its uniqueness. And now they've torn down like the art walls. And now it's just pretentious.
Homeless people
everywhere.
Look, you said it, I didn't. I'm just saying they have an infrastructure problem which causes a lot of that. But it's also kind of dirty.
It is. It's become very dirty.
Look, and it didn't used to be like that.
No.
Tyler. Seriously, it didn't. I actually liked Austin at one
Rogan
point.
talks about it a lot on his podcast.
Yeah.
Whenever he talks about it, he's like, when I got here,
It was great.
it was great. And
Yeah.
over the last few years, the
Well-
more people that have funneled in there, and it's the people that come from California. Like that's
Yeah.
where they go. Like he's talked about it
Mhm.
openly. Like Rogan's got like the numbers of like
Yeah,
how many
yeah.
people have, and it's like,
It's a
They're-
lot.
yeah, he's like, they are overpopulating this area to a point to where it's just not manageable.
Right.
It also seems like every time you talk to someone that just loves Austin, they love the Austin of 15 to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't, and
Current Austin.
usually they're like, oh, I hadn't been in years, but I do love it. And I was like, well, you shouldn't go then because you'll hate it. But
So you seriously leave Dallas behind? If we had to leave, we had to pick up. We sawed off Texas and we moved it. You're saying we would leave Dallas? See that?
See,
I
that's
just
to
don't
me, that's
see
like
that.
the Joker, like actually killing Batman.
Dude.
You know what I
you just-
mean?
Well,
Like you got to have someone to hate,
I don't know. It's
and,
just
and you would lose Frisco. Man.
it's
And I
just-
don't really like
man,
Frisco.
yeah, but technically Frisco isn't Dallas.
we're talking Metroplex. He does have a point, but I'm saying we're talking
Yeah.
He
Metroplex.
does have a
But
point.
also Woodlands wouldn't be Houston, so. But
I always say that I would live in
Greater
the Woodlands.
Houston area.
I would say that I would live if I lived in the Woodlands, and it is a running joke that I say if I lived in the Woodlands, say it, let's just hypothetically say I got a job down here, right? And say, hey, you need to move to the Woodlands. I would say, oh, awesome. But I would tell everybody that I would live 3.5 hours south of Dallas on 45. Isn't that in Houston? I'm like, no, it's not in Houston.
The spring.
It's nowhere near Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's north of Houston.
Yeah.
Kind of about just south of that big
Yeah.
statue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam Houston.
Very strategic there.
and it's just like if I ever had to gun to my family's head, move to Dallas, then I would just be like, yeah, I live in South Oklahoma. And that's
See, are you serious?
I would just I would
You
just
feel so strongly about that. Look, I don't like all parts of Dallas.
it's literally just the
But-
city of Dallas. The Fort Worth, Frisco, Grapevine,
Arlington.
all the Arlington. I like all
Arlington.
those.
Dude.
I
let me
used
tell you
so
something.
Arlington has a special place for me because growing up, we used to go on mission trips there and do a bunch of stuff with like the like halfway houses and things like that. So I had fond memories growing up of having fun in Arlington, and still when I was little, my family doesn't even hate Dallas. I don't know where my hatred for Dallas really came from.
it's
But when I
there.
was little,
It's obviously there
when I was
because-
little, I was like, yeah, I'm not going. I don't want to go to Dallas. I'll go to Arlington.
Look,
I don't.
Arlington,
Dallas.
there's a reason why when you're watching a Cowboy game, which we all do, right?
Mm-mm.
When it pans out of this beautiful stadium, it just morphs into Dallas. They don't show Arlington. There's a reason for that, right? You don't want to see what's around the stadium.
But the stadium represents Arlington. Isn't it falling apart? Couldn't
No,
y'all
we
not open the
lost.
roof
Dude,
because
that was
some of
pretty-
the
that was
stuff
pretty
fell off?
funny.
Look, it was a bit of an ironic sort of timing thing, but I don't even know what happened with that. They said it was a big old piece of.
There was like
Did you
two
see
pieces
the
of sheet
si-
metal.
Did you see the size of it?
Yeah, it was massive.
It was massive.
It was like the size of this rug.
Yes, and it nearly hit some people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they said it
Two
was
pieces
because of
fell.
the storm that came through.
It was a windy sort of.
Yeah, and then also the fact that it hadn't been open in what,
I
like,
just know Jerry was cursing left and right.
yeah, and then somebody probably said, Mr. Jones, do you remember 4 years ago whenever
Yeah.
we had to get the whatever permit, or we had to go do some maintenance on it, and you said that you didn't want to put that in the budget? Yeah, that's
why.
Yeah.
That's why this happened.
that was a $50,000 budget cut that you did.
I will say this: put your shades down, man. Put your shades down.
He
No.
said it's been like that all year. You should just have your retinas burned off.
He said we needed to build a new stadium.
Dude, let me tell you this. Like, this is what's crazy. I don't know if you saw the report, but the Cowboys are saying that it's going to be tighter than it was last year.
Oh yeah, on budget.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we have
That they're not going to sign anybody. They're talking about like
No.
trading Micah Parsons
We can't trade Micah Parsons.
That's what
the
they're saying.
stupidest thing I've
because
ever
they
heard of.
can't because they've committed
Dude,
Dak
that is just
and to
he's the
CD.
only player in the NFL on defense right now that can change a game. And look, we won yesterday.
I would
We
say
won
TJ
yesterday,
Watt.
but we should have.
Yeah, I mean,
we
you played
should
the
have.
Panthers.
Exactly,
I mean, I hope
exactly
so.
right. That's like bragging about making A's and B's in first grade. You should pass first
Yeah.
grade.
I
It's
mean,
first grade.
This also is the same team that last year got torched by Josh Dobbs.
That was the Pastronaut, though. That
Where
was a
is
different
Josh
Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs is in San Francisco.
Yes.
Is he third string?
Yes.
Yes.
And Brandon Allen.
Brandon Allen. What a name.
Dude, I would hate to have the last name Allen and not Josh at this moment in my career.
He's winning in all fronts.
Everything.
Yeah.
He's just,
Murdering it.
He married the girl from Hawkeye,
Ugh,
or is engaged to her.
yeah, I mean,
dude, he is
from
just-
Hawkeye, I mean, Pitch Perfect.
He's like the
No, she
he's
was in
like
Hawkeye.
She's in Pitch Perfect.
She was also in Hawkeye.
Yeah, but
Pitch Perfect. Yeah. I've never seen Pitch Perfect.
What?
well, she. To be fair, she was like in the.
It's
Third one.
awesome, man.
Really?
That was some lame joke.
No, that's what they said.
Yeah, I
in the
know
movie.
it was lame when they did it too.
Josh Allen.
F me.
Yeah, Josh Allen, known enemy of the Jets. So
Dude,
Just
he's
torching
he's scorching it right
running away with
now.
the
Did y'all
MVP
watch
currently.
that game
It was
yesterday?
The only player I know that I've seen in fantasy football that it got credit for throwing a touchdown and also catching
On the same play.
on the same play.
It's awesome.
Murdering it.
It's Josh Allen is not human.
No.
The Bills are the most complete team in the NFL right now.
I wouldn't go.
Look,
I wouldn't go.
I know they gave up a lot of points yesterday, but they gave them up to the Detroit Lions.
I think that their defense is beatable. I think the problem is that you can't outscore them.
They're still in top 10 in defense, aren't they?
I think so. And it's crazy to think that you would say that, but at the beginning of the year, everyone was like, what is this offense going to be without Diggs?
Oh, 100%.
He has no weapons now.
100%.
Gabe Davis is gone. Diggs is gone.
Keon Coleman hadn't even really been playing the past couple weeks. He's been hurt.
Neither is Amari.
I mean, this is literally on the shoulders of Josh Allen is doing exactly what people talked about Brady doing. Doesn't matter who it is. Just give him some guy that knows how to catch a football. It doesn't matter what the name is on the back of their jersey. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah, he's just running all over everybody, throwing all over everyone.
Think about this. Their
They're
top
14.
receiver.
They're 14 in defense,
14.
by the way. Right in the middle.
Yeah. So their top receiver last game was the ex-Jets third string running back, Ty Johnson. Was their number one receiver.
But you know what? They're taking the same playbook that Bill Belichick did with the Patriots, New England. Keep it simple. It's those simple routes, those simple schemes that will get you every single time. And Josh Allen can run it.
Yeah, and that's the problem is you can play perfect defense and cover everyone, and then Josh will just take off for 40 yards.
Yes, that's the problem. So you have that simple scheme that he plays. He has the whole playbook at his disposal.
And he's
but
built
he can
He's
run.
built like a linebacker. I mean, he's like 6'5",
6'5".
and he's got
240,
wheels.
230.
He's a big dude. He's not like a fragile guy running. It's insane what he's doing out there.
Yeah, and I mean,
Nonetheless.
also enough, I don't think can be said about how good Joe Brady has been as an offensive coordinator. He has been unbelievable, and I think so much so that he's going to be up there as a top 3 head coach candidate this year. I think he's going to get a lot more buzz than people think he is. Because, again, you're talking about a guy who was, what was he, the quarterback's coach or the offensive pass coordinator or something like that at the beginning of the year. Then their OC gets fired, and he steps into that role, and it was like,
Kills it.
oh, crap. Like drastic difference in
Yeah,
how
oh,
that
yeah,
team
You
plays.
really
Absolutely.
think? I mean, he's got so many. I like seeing guys that have come up that do a lot with a little. And the reality is he's doing a lot with a lot.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? Shakir's like, one of his big options. Like, who?
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel, which also I put that on notice at the beginning of the year. I'm a big Curtis Samuel fan. That's a poor man's Debo Samuel. Is what that is.
Also,
Really?
random note, nothing to do with this conversation, but I did call that everyone was dogging this person and calling him a jag. And now I'm having a brain fart of his name. The Browns wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy,
Judy. Yeah,
called that he would
Judy.
have a career year this year,
he did call that.
and
Kudos.
he's doing it in half of a season
Yeah, true.
with Jameis. And let me tell you something about Jameis.
Tell me,
I love that guy.
I love Jameis so much. His prayer in that press conference, the "Please deliver me from pick sixes,"
oh my God,
Yeah.
that
was
so
was
funny.
all wrong. It was all wrong. Don't say pick sixes. Just say picks, and you would have been fine. He hadn't thrown a pick six since, but he's sure thrown a lot of picks. So just be like, "Please deliver me from these picks."
Just picks.
He
You
said-
would be fine.
He said, "Yep, yep. I've got to be praying. Need the Lord to deliver me from them pick sixes."
What kind of accent is that? That's not how Jameis talks.
No, that is not how he talks.
When did he turn into Forrest Gump?
He's very specific when he elaborates on his
Yes.
mouth movement.
Yes.
That's what I was getting across, Alex.
Dude, he's the most entertaining.
Oh, absolutely.
He's awesome.
The pre-games, man. The
Awesome.
pre-game speeches are just unreal. You literally never know what he's going to say.
He's more entertaining than Fitzmagic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
One of
He's
my
awesome.
favorite moves from Fitzmagic though was that time he brought his kid up on the
That was cool.
on the press conference and got him to
Human
do math real
calculator?
quick.
Yeah.
Yep. I was like, yeah, his
Just-
genius just like his dad.
Did y'all see him when he went to the Super Bowl and he had his shirt off?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
I love when he went to Dolphins camp and he was wearing the short shorts and crop top.
I met
Loved
him.
it.
I met him at Disney World. I ran
Really?
into him while he was playing with the Texans, and so
Really?
yeah, he had his kid on his shoulders. Went up and talked to him. He was like, "I didn't think I'd run into a Texans fan here," and I was like, "I'm not, but I'm from Houston." So, yeah. And then another thing that he did, which just came to my mind, was whenever he took his teammates' clothes out of their locker and wore them to a press conference,
Amazing.
and he had that gold chain, and
Yes.
he unzipped
Yes,
the
I do remember
tracksuit.
that.
Yeah, and then the guy, they just pan over off the side where the door is, and one of his teammates is just standing there in his underwear, and they're like, "Why is he here?" And Ryan was like, "Oh, I took his clothes. This is his outfit."
He had shades on in that
Yeah.
conference. Yeah. That was pretty great.
What a great guy.
What a great guy. Shout out
Amazing.
Houston legend.
I wish Jameis could win. That to me would be kind of like
He's a
like,
30-30
it's not-
guy, man.
I
He ain't
know.
never gonna win.
I know.
30 picks, 30 interceptions. I'm sorry, 30 interceptions.
I had
30
a lot of
touchdowns.
hope whenever I saw the article that he got LASIK, and I was like, well, maybe he
Couldn't
he
see.
couldn't see. He's got all the talent. He just couldn't see. And at the beginning of his stint with the Browns, I was like, he's doing it.
Mhm.
And then it went downhill real fast.
We'll see. I mean, look, his career, it's in the sunset.
He'll be
but
a backup anywhere he wants to go now. I mean, he's good enough to. You hope he doesn't start for you for half of a season, but if someone goes down, he can lead your team to a victory.
3 or 4 wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good for that.
Well, dude, this
Wow.
it's been fantastic.
It's been a good
Is it already over?
It is already over.
How long did these things last?
Look, we go
about
about
30 to 45
30,
minutes.
45.
Really?
Yeah,
Have we already? No, we've been gone longer than that.
oh, definitely.
I don't know. What time did we start?
Sorry.
It's on 10.
Yeah, we're at an hour. Cap said we're at an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, time flies when you're having fun, guys.
Don't
Yeah.
do y'all cut this?
No, we're gonna
Let it fly.
It's gonna be a great episode.
Yeah.
Guys, as always,
Just let it roll.
we're here at the Athletically Declined Studio inside Sold Out. We follow them at their website, soldoutftx.com. All your favorite brands here local to Houston, vintage and sneaker heads also have a place here with the plethora of high-end sneakers.
Dude, I was shocked. amazed by the selection.
Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, you and I was like basically just shopping before you got here. Yeah,
It's a great place. They
Get a swag.
have everything here. I'm currently looking at a Christmas Scooby-Doo shirt.
And a Grinch one right next to it.
I was looking at those off-white, some off-white.
Oh yeah,
Those things are solid.
yeah, and expensive.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Any off-white anything is
True.
expensive. But I'll tell you what, Sold Out's got some of the best prices.
Definitely do.
No, they really do.
Everyone who comes in here looks at the price on the shoes are like, I cannot believe y'all are charging this for these items. The other places around here are way more.
Absolutely,
That's
yeah.
what you expect here. But
What are you wearing?
These are Dornbacher. They're Dornbachers. They run every single year. They do different styles of sneakers, but they're created by kids that have like cancer and things like that, and all the funds go to them. But their fly eases. They you can drop like that, so you can slide your foot in, and then
Where'd you get them?
Nike. But their Dornbachers are hard to get. They're kind of once they come out, everyone snatches them up. So
Alex is a closet sneakerhead as well. Never
Are
know
you?
it, but he
got lots and lots of shoes. Yeah.
Well, guys, Jet, A-Train, The Rich Man. It's Athletically Declined on ESPN 97.5. See y'all next week, Houston.
Thank you, guys.